Devyser Diagnostics are specialists when it comes to diagnostic kits for complex DNA testing within hereditary diseases, oncology, and also in transplantation. And their products are used to guide targeted cancer therapies, to enable rapid prenatal diagnostics, as well as in post-transplant follow-ups. And with us here we have the CEO, Fredrik Alpsten.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting us to this seminar. As said, I'm Fredrik Alpsten, CEO for Devyser, a rapidly growing diagnostic company. We have a vision for our company, and that's a world where personalized medicine is universally available thanks to simplified and reliable genetic tests. We were listed at Nasdaq First North Premier as late as in December last year. We raised 348 million Swedish crowns. The IPO was oversubscribed, and we were very glad that we got many new shareholders, very well-known shareholders. Today, our biggest shareholder is Rutger Arnhult. He owns 24% of the company. He has been with the company more or less since it was founded. We have some other big shareholders that came in recently. Swedbank Robur and Fjärde AP-fonden, they have 9% each. And then we have Berenberg and Third. They also came in the IPO. The founders, Ulf Klangby, Dan Hausenberger, and Anders Hedrum, they are still active in the company in senior positions, and they have 3-4% each in the company. So what do we do? Well, we are still relatively unknown. I hope you have heard about us, but I'm not sure you have. But we are a Swedish company founded in 2004 that develops, manufactures, and sells software and reagents for complex DNA testing. They are adapted to the leading DNA sequencing platforms, especially to NGS, the next generation sequencing platform, which is the latest and fastest growing platform. But we have also products for the earlier platforms like qPCR and Sanger sequencing. We are working within 3 areas: hereditary diseases, oncology, and post-transplantation monitoring. And we sell our products via clinical diagnostic labs, either via our own sales reps or via distributors. We are based here in Stockholm, but we have subsidiaries, sales offices in another 7 countries. At the moment, we are 90 employees. Sorry. So what do we do? Well, we produce, commercialize, and sell genetic testing kits, to guide targeted cancer therapies. It enables rapid diagnosis of hereditary diseases and post-transplantation monitoring. All our development and all our manufacturing are taking place in-house in our facility in Hägersten, south of Stockholm. So how do we do it? What's the reason to our success? Well, we put the customer, the clinical diagnostic lab, in focus. With our products, the customer can earn money by reducing the time they take to do the tests. The growth in the company has been high over the last couple of years. Since 2015, we have had an average growth of 37% per year, and that's despite a big hiccup in 2020 due to COVID-19. And we reached 94 million Swedish crowns for the full year 2021. I will not say anything about the 2022 figures because we are publishing our Q1 report tomorrow morning, actually. Since the company was founded, we have sold genetic tests for approximately 2.5 million. We sold products for approximately 2.5 million tests. We are selling our products in some 45 countries, but we have up to now had a very European focus. We have good gross margins on our products. We are actually selling consumables. We do not need to sell equipment. So for 2021, we had a gross margin of 77%. And the nice thing with our business model is that when the volumes are increasing, the gross margin is increasing. And when the proportion of direct sales is increasing, the gross margin is increasing. Since the company was founded in 2004, we have developed and launched 28 CE-approved products. We have a very efficient development process. It takes us from 6 to 18 months from a product ID to a launched product. As said earlier, we are active in 3 areas: hereditary diseases, oncology, and post-transplantation monitoring. And the biggest area is hereditary diseases, and it represents approximately 70% of our total sales. Although fetal diagnostic products, which are included in this area, still are important for us, we have over the last couple of years developed many products with high growth, such as tests for thalassemia, cystic fibrosis, and fetal RHD screening. A couple of years ago, we started to develop tests for oncology, and we have now a couple of tests for that, including tests for diagnosing hereditary breast cancer. Within this area, we are continuing developing, and we will have a couple of more new products within the next couple of years. In the autumn of 2020, we launched our first product for post-transplant monitoring of stem cells. And it currently represents a rather small part of our total sales, but it grows rapidly. With the NGS technology, you can measure very low levels of the donor's recipient's bone marrow, and very accurately at an early stage see if the diseased bone marrow is going to grow back, and then you can start treatment very, very early. So what's the reason to our success? The principle for all our products, that's process excellence. We are very good at developing and manufacturing products for the routine diagnostic lab. We do not address research labs where easily handling and fast processes are not that important. Our customers can be small specialized lab or big lab chains like Unilab and Synlab. Their whole business idea is to provide big volumes of accurate tests. And here is where we can make a difference with our products. We sell reagents that can simplify the lab's workflow and by that reducing the risk for errors, both by personnel at the lab, but also errors by robots. Not least that you mix up the different test results. We do this by offering very streamlined and simple processes. And it leads, as I said earlier, to that the lab saves time and money by using our products compared with the competitive products. And of course, we have 28 products, so there are differences between our different products, and there are also differences between different kind of competitors. But in general, you can say like this: with our products, you need less DNA to run a test than you need with a competitive product. With our products, you reduce the hands-on time from days to a couple of minutes. And with our products, compared with the competitive products, you also reduce the total time from when you take the test and when you can get the result back to the patient, from a couple of weeks to a few days. And as our products processes are so simple, also the training for the lab personnel, it's much, much shorter. For a competitive, it takes something like 12 to 18 months to train them and run the test independently. But with our simple test, they can be up and running within 3 to 4 weeks. So we are currently selling our products in approximately 45 countries. But as said earlier, we have had a very European focus. More than 90% of our total sales are coming from Europe. During the first years, the company worked only via distributors. But we had one distributor in Italy that did not perform very well. So we decided to switch and start selling direct in Italy. And we did that very successful. And since then, we have had an average sales increase in Italy of above 40% per year. And that's also despite the big hiccup due to COVID-19. So what happens then was that after a couple of years, we switched from a distributor model to a direct model also in Scandinavia, in Germany. We have been very successful with that. So now we are selling direct in the dark blue countries on the map: Scandinavia, the Dutch region, and Italy. We are selling via distributors in the yellow countries. And as we were so successful in Italy and in Scandinavia, we decided in 2021 to start selling direct in more countries, switching from distributor sales to direct sales. And we have done that and hired people to do that in UK, France, Spain, and Benelux. In US, it's also a light here, which means that we were selling direct, starting selling direct. In US, we did not sell via distributors earlier. But here we have set up an own sales organization, and they are in place since August 2021. For many years, Devyser's operations were focused on developing world-class products. And we did not bother so much about selling the product, actually. But this started to change 2 years ago. And we have now a crystal clear growth strategy for the company. And it consists mainly of 3 initiatives. The first one is strengthening of the sales organization by strengthening of the sales organization in certain countries. And it means primarily switching from distributor sales to direct sales in some European countries. But it also means increasing the focus on some distributor markets. And we signed a couple of new distributors agreements in 2021, and they have now started to sell our products, mainly in Asia. The second initiative is a geographical expansion. And here we are primarily talking about the US. As I said earlier, we have since August 2021 a small organization in place in the US that has started to work towards that market. US is the biggest IVD market in the world and the market with the highest prices. So we are very optimistic about that initiative. The third initiative is continuing developing new products. We have been very successful doing that during the last 17 years since the company was founded. In average, we have developed 2 new products every year. And to maintain high growth, we think it's important continuing doing that. When we became listed in December 2021, we worked quite much with our strategy. And based on that, we put down the financial targets for the company. And here you can see we have 3 financial targets. One growth target, and that's to have a growth in excess of 30%. And we are talking about organic growth. And if you look to the right, you can see that for 2021, we had a growth of 42%. And actually, if you look in local currency, the growth was even higher, 47%. And as I said earlier, historically, we have had very good growth, 37%, 2015 to 2021. The second financial goal is to have a gross margin in excess of 80% in the medium term. We are not here yet. We reached 77% in 2021. But I'm optimistic. Higher volumes will give higher gross margins, and a higher proportion of direct sales will give higher gross margin. Our last financial target is the EBIT margin, or operational margin. And here we have, in the medium term, it will be in excess of 20%. We think that we have a momentum now, and we are investing a lot in marketing and sales because we would like to be one of the first companies coming out with this kind of products. So that's the reason why we can run the company profitable, but we have decided to invest. And that's the reason why we have this target a couple of years ahead. So what have I tried to say today, actually, about Devyser? Well, Devyser, as I said, it's a quite unknown company. But we are a Swedish developer, manufacturer, and seller of advanced genetic test kits combined with software. They are adapted to the leading DNA sequencing platforms, especially to NGS, which is the fastest and growing platform. We have a proven business model that has given us high revenue growth over the more or less since the company was founded, actually in 2004. As you heard earlier, 37%, 2015 to 2021, and that's despite a big hiccup due to COVID-19. We have a focused and validated product portfolio with a strong, tangible value proposition. Since the company was founded, we have launched 28 CE-approved products. We actually give the lab something. They save time, and by that, they save money by using our products. And we are addressing big markets and growing markets. If you look at the general diagnostic market, it grows by a couple of percent per year. But if you look at the DNA sequencing market, it grows much more. And then if you even go to the NGS market, some parts of the market, they have growth rates up to 80%. So I think that DNA sequencing, DNA testing is just the start of an exceptional journey. And last but not least, in this world we're living in, we have quite low risk in the company. We have done this successfully over the last 17 years, and we will now continue doing that, but we will switch in from distributor sales to direct sales and continuing developing world-class products. So by that, I leave it over to the moderator.
Well, thank you very much, Fredrik. Could you paint a quick picture for us about competition in your field?
Yeah. As I said, we have 3 different areas: hereditary diseases, oncology, and post-transplantation monitoring. And we are also working within reagents and software. So you will find it's a mixed. But for example, we have 2 competitors that are active in more or less all of these areas. That's Sophia Genetics and GenDx. So that's CareDx. So CareDx. That's 2 important competitors for us.
And are they operational on the same markets?
Yeah.
They are, okay.
And they have started earlier than we in the US, for example.
So Fredrik, you painted a sort of a trajectory for the investors here, but if you would go a little bit further, let's say 5 years, where do you expect to be then?
Yeah, I cannot say anything else than our financial targets, actually, but you can calculate yourselves. We are very optimistic, and I must say, a financial target of 30% in growth and a gross margin above 80%, that's quite good, I would say, as a medtech company.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here and presenting.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.